The jungle roared with the sound of 1,000 wings. A lone monkey clung to a high branch, trembling, as a black cloud of bees swarmed around him. Their stingers flashed in the dappled sunlight, their furious hum vibrating through the air like a warning drum. Each second the swarm grew thicker, wrapping the monkey in a living, writhing shroud. His eyes darted wildly, breath ragged, as he gripped the branch with white-knuckled desperation. Below, the jungle floor seemed impossibly far, a dangerous leap that could end in broken bones. Above, there was no shelter, no escape, only the relentless advance of the bees. The first sting made him flinch. The second drew a sharp cry. Soon, his fur was peppered with angry red welts. The buzzing was deafening, drowning out even the rustle of the leaves. The monkey's tail whipped in panic, sending a few bees scattering, but more closed in. From the undergrowth, villagers spotted him, their faces twisting with alarm. They knew a swarm like this could kill not just with venom, but with the sheer number of stings. One man shouted for a ladder. Another ran for smoke. A young boy stood frozen, fear warring with sympathy on his face. He wanted to help, but what could he, a mere child, do against a wrathful hive? Then an idea sparked in his eyes. Scrambling up a nearby tree, he raced higher and higher, gathering broad leaves in his arms. As he reached the dizzying heights of the canopy, he began beating the leaves together, making a rhythmic clapping sound. At first, it was tentative, uncertain, but then something in the boy's heart snapped, and he began to chant in a low voice. The words were ancient, a plea to the spirits of the forest. And as he spoke, the rhythm of his clapping quickened, growing louder, more insistent. Below, the swarm surged again, and the monkey's grip faltered. A gasp rose from the rescuers as he slipped an inch down the branch. A fall now would send him crashing through the canopy and straight into more danger on the ground. The smoke bearer returned, torch in hand, sending thin streams upward. The wind caught the smoke, curling it around the branch in ghostly ribbons. For a heartbeat, it seemed to work. The bees wavered, their furious dance breaking. But then a gust pushed the smoke away, and the swarm lunged back, angrier than before. The villagers shouted in unison, waving leaves to drive the smoke higher. This time the haze thickened, cloaking the monkey in a swirling shield. His eyes blinked through the haze, chest heaving, before he took a daring leap to a lower branch where the bees thinned. Another drop, then another, and, finally, he reached the waiting arms of a rescuer. As the monkey disappeared into the safety of the village, the boy in the tree kept up his chant and clapping. The jungle fell silent, listening. Slowly, the buzz of wings diminished, replaced by the murmur of the wind through the leaves. When the boy finally stopped, a profound hush lay over the forest. Then, as if waking from a dream, the trees rustled back into life. Birds sang, insects hummed, and the distant call of a hornbill echoed through the green cathedral. In the clearing, the monkey sat nestled in the crook of a woman's arm. His eyes, wide and luminous, gazed up at her face, etched with concern. The stings on his body throbbed, but it was the terror in his eyes that tore at her heart. Gently, she stroked his head, murmuring soothing words. Her touch was feather-light, yet somehow it calmed the tremors running through the little creature. The man who had climbed the tree to rescue the monkey knelt beside them, his face creased with fatigue and scratches. Reaching out, he offered the monkey a leaf of sweet-smelling basil. Hesitantly, the monkey took it, his fingers brushing against the man's. There was a spark of gratitude in his eyes. With the deftness born of experience, the man peeled open the leaf, revealing a glob of crushed mint and ginger. The monkey ate it hungrily, the flavors a burst of freshness in his mouth. As the day wore on, the monkey gradually regained his composure. The worst of the pain had subsided, leaving only a dull ache. His eyes, though still wary, held a glimmer of trust. The villagers gathered in small groups, whispering in hushed tones. They spoke of other creatures trapped in similar predicaments, and the many lives the bee swarms had taken. The weight of such stories pressed heavily on the hearts of those who listened. With a sigh, the woman rose and turned to the man. It was time to take care of the monkey. She helped him climb into a woven basket lined with soft leaves, then carried him toward the edge of the village. There, nestled between banana trees, was a secluded hut. It was here the injured animals were brought until they could be released back into the forest. The monkey curled up in the basket, pressing his head against the woven walls. The gentle sway of the walk soothed him, and soon he drifted off to sleep. When he awoke, the sky was awash with the colors of sunset. He stirred, feeling the tenderness in every limb. The pain of the stings had ebbed, but left behind a profound weariness. He emerged from the basket, blinking against the fading light. The hut was empty, the door hanging open like an invitation. The monkey hesitated, torn between the safety of the village and the wild freedom of the jungle. The choice was his. The villagers had decided. They would respect whatever decision he made. The days that followed were filled with quiet contemplation for the monkey. He spent his hours exploring the village, observing the daily routines of its people. He watched children chase each other through the market, their laughter echoing in the narrow lanes. He saw women skillfully weaving cloth, their fingers nimble and sure, and he observed the men repairing fishing nets, their faces weathered by the sun and wind. He also visited the hut often, drawn to the thought of the kind hands that had cared for him. The villagers, in turn, brought him food and water, placing them outside the hut in silent offerings. The monkey appreciated their kindness, yet a deep longing for his home in the trees grew within him. One morning, he awoke with the first rays of dawn, a new determination in his eyes. Today, he would return to the jungle. Saying goodbye to the hut, he ventured out into the familiar terrain. The sights and sounds of the forest welcomed him back. The chattering of gibbons, the rustling of leaves beneath nimble paws, the symphony of birdsong all around. As he ascended higher and higher, a smile touched his lips. He could see the village below. So tiny from this height, it looked like a patchwork quilt spread out on the earth. The monkey swung effortlessly through the branches, his heart swelling with joy. The jungle was his domain once more. But even as he reveled in his freedom, he did not forget the kindness shown to him in the village. He remembered the soothing touch, the shared meals, and the unspoken bond forged in times of need. The monkey knew that, though his home was in the trees, a part of his heart would always belong to the villagers, who had rescued him from the angry bees. And whenever the jungle echoed with the sound of 1,000 wings, he would remember the day he hung from a branch, saved not by strength, but by the courage of a young boy and the unity of a caring community. Once upon a time, in a dense jungle, lived a troop of friendly monkeys. Among them was a curious young monkey who loved exploring the vast wilderness. One day, while swinging through the trees, he stumbled upon a huge swarm of angry bees protecting their hive. Startled, the little monkey cried out, alerting his troop. Realizing the danger, the adult monkeys devised a plan. They sent for the wise old baboon, known for his intelligence and calm demeanor. Upon hearing the situation, the baboon immediately set to work. He instructed the monkeys to gather large, fragrant flowers like hibiscus and jasmine, which were known to attract butterflies. The plan was to lure butterflies to the area, hoping their presence might distract the bees. As the butterflies fluttered around, sipping the sweet nectar from the flowers, the bees became increasingly agitated. Seeing an opportunity, the baboon slowly approached the hive, distracting the bees with his calm demeanor. This gave the other monkeys a chance to carefully dismantle the hive, carrying the honeycomb pieces away from the enraged bees. The operation was risky, but the monkeys' bravery and teamwork paid off. They managed to retrieve most of the honeycombs without getting stung. That day, the troop celebrated their success, sharing the sweet reward of their bravery. The young monkey learned a valuable lesson about facing fears, the importance of community, and the true meaning of strength.